Welcome back, and thank you for coming back. We wanted to start with just a recap, not literally going through everything, but to find out if people had, now that you've had the overnight memory consolidation and so on, whether you have any additional thoughts or points or questions or comments before we organize for our day of work, half day of work. Any things, themes, issues, questions people want to bring up? Yes, Amir.
Just my question was, so as we look towards the morning and then we think about our wrap-up, could you preview a little bit for us how we will end our day so that we can be sort of thinking with the end in mind a little bit? I know some of us were so excited at the prospect of, even though we know we're not supposed to make any recommendations, kind of summarizing something that we feel would go forward. Could you talk a little about that?
Yes. I think that many people in the room, including the planners, had this same feeling that we didn't want to just leave saying, those were 3 interesting chats, goodbye. But you're also right that we're not constituted to make formal recommendations of what to do. So I have put together, with the help of Mary and Hillary, some points about options where we could go, where you could go. We can't really go there. And we will ask you to generate additional options. Obviously, which options actually get implemented is something that needs to happen outside of this event. But indeed, I think the goal, if you think about it sort of in stages, is first of all, from the 3 workshops and the related discussion, what are some of the things that have hung up the evidence? What are some things that have gotten in our way, such that if the military wants to do implementation of something, they can hopefully learn from that. And then there really just are choices about things. I think we've seen that there's nothing that has such strong evidence that it would just be obvious to all of us, we should implement that tomorrow, no question. So then there's the sorting through of, given the uncertainty, the pros and cons of early implementation of things, more formal research, blah, blah, blah. So the notion would be that when we come back from the small group, we'll process the small group in the same way we did yesterday, because realistically, many of the topics that you might be interested in dealing with clinically exist at the lowest level of evidence, which is the workshop we're going to do now. So if you want to do something about any of the problems where we don't have strong evidence, that workshop is still relevant, we hope. But then there's the meta question of, given a range of evidence and also problem prevalence, severity, cost, blah, 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 how do you want to deal with the current status? And we will indeed have some structured chat about that. Does that sound okay? Okay. Other questions or comments? Okay, well then I think, even though we had 30 minutes for a 4-minute conversation, I think probably we could break and go into the small groups and then have more time for the discussion that it seems like everybody is actually dying to have. So let's see, it was an hour, it was planned for an hour? Is that? Okay, so how about, so it's 9:05 now, how about if we go till 10:05, take a break till 10:20, and then we'll come back here a little earlier for the wrap-up stuff. Okay.